Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. It is so good to have you here today at Pod Studio. My name is Alex, and I am sitting here in the studio with my good friend, Emma. How are you doing today, Emma?
Hi, Alex. I am doing great, thank you. I am really excited about our talk today. To our listeners at home, or maybe in the car or on the bus, welcome. We are so happy you are spending some time with us to practice your English.
Exactly. This is Pod Studio, the place where we talk about real life, but we do it in a way that is easy to follow. Today, we have a topic that I think everyone needs. We are talking about how to think clearly under pressure.
Oh, that is such a big topic, Alex. Under pressure. That is a phrase we use when we have a lot of stress, right? Like when you have too much work or when something goes wrong and you have to fix it very fast.
That is right. When you're under pressure, you feel like the clock is ticking. You feel like you have to make a choice right now. And for many people, including me, that is when our brains just stop working. We get confused. We make mistakes.
I am the same way. My heart starts beating fast, my hands get a little sweaty, and suddenly I forget simple words. It's like my brain goes on vacation exactly when I need it to stay and help me.
That is why this is so useful for real life. Whether you're taking an English exam, or you're at work and your boss asks you a difficult question, or maybe you're traveling and you get lost in a new city, those are all high-pressure situations. Before we start, if you want more fun English podcasts like this, hit the subscribe button right now and join our English learning family.
It really helps us grow. So today, we are going to talk about how to stay calm. We will share some stories, some tips, and just chat about how to keep your mind sharp when things get difficult.
So everyone, just relax. Don't worry about understanding every single word perfectly. Just listen to the flow of the conversation. If you're drinking a coffee or taking a walk, just let the English wash over you. We are going to have a long, deep talk about this.
I love that. Let the English wash over you. That means just listen naturally, like you're sitting here in the room with us. So, Alex, let's start at the beginning. When was the last time you felt like you were under a lot of pressure?
Oh, let me think. Actually, it was just last week. I was giving a presentation at a meeting. I had everything ready on my computer. I practiced for hours. But then, when I stood up to speak, the computer died. It just turned off.
Oh no, that is a nightmare. Everyone is looking at you, waiting for you to start, and the technology fails. What did you do?
Well, at first, I panicked. To panic means to feel a sudden, very strong fear. I felt my face getting hot. I thought, oh no, I look like a fool. I couldn't think clearly. I just stared at the black screen.
That is a perfect example of losing your clear thinking. In that moment, your brain isn't thinking about the presentation anymore. It's only thinking about the problem and how embarrassed you feel.
Exactly. But then I remembered something my old teacher told me. She said, Alex, when you feel the pressure, just stop for 3 seconds. So I took a deep breath, I looked at the audience, I smiled, and I said, well, it looks like my computer wants a nap today.
That's great. You used a little bit of humor to break the ice. To break the ice is a nice expression, isn't it? It means to make a tense or nervous situation feel more relaxed and friendly.
Yes, it really helped. By making a small joke, I felt the pressure go down. My brain started working again. I realized I didn't need the computer. I knew the information in my head, so I just talked to them.
That is a big part of thinking clearly. You have to lower the emotional volume in your head. When we are stressed, our emotions are very loud. They're screaming at us. We have to turn that volume down so we can hear our logical thoughts.
That is a very good way to put it. Emotional volume. I like that. But Emma, you are usually very calm. Do you ever feel pressured?
Oh, Alex, all the time. You just don't see it on the outside. Inside, I am often a mess. For example, when I am driving in a new place and there is a lot of traffic. People are honking their horns, making that loud beep beep noise. The GPS is telling me to turn left, but I am in the right lane.
Oh, I hate that. That is a lot of input.
too much information coming in at once.
Yes, and when there is too much input, I can't process it. To process something means to take the information and understand it so you can use it. In that moment, my brain feels full. I usually start driving slower, and then people get even more angry and honk more.
So how do you handle that? How do you clear your head in the car?
I have to filter the noise. I tell myself, Emma, the honking doesn't matter. The angry drivers don't matter. The only thing that matters is finding a safe place to pull over. Pulling over means to drive the car to the side of the road and stop. Once I stop the car, the pressure disappears because I am no longer moving. Then I can look at the map properly.
That is a very smart move. You removed yourself from the situation for a moment. You took a break from the pressure. Sometimes we think we have to solve the problem while we are right in the middle of it. But sometimes the best thing to do is to step back.
Right. If you are in a heated argument with someone, a heated argument is just a way to say a very angry or passionate fight. Sometimes the best way to think clearly is to say, I need 5 minutes alone.
I use that one a lot. Give me a second. It gives your brain time to cool off, like a hot engine that needs to stop running for a bit.
Exactly. And you know, Alex, I think language learners feel this pressure every single day. Imagine you are at a restaurant in London or New York. You want to order food. The waiter is standing there, looking at you. There are people waiting in line behind you. You want to say, I would like the chicken, but suddenly you forget the word for chicken.
Oh, I've been there. Not with English, but when I was learning Spanish. I wanted to ask for a spoon, and I just kept saying, the tool for soup. I felt so much pressure because I felt like I was wasting the waiter's time.
And when you feel like you are wasting time, the pressure grows. You start thinking, I am bad at this language. I should know this. This is what we call negative self-talk. It is that little voice in your head that says mean things to you.
That voice is the enemy of clear thinking. If you are busy listening to your inner voice tell you that you are bad at English, you don't have any space left to remember the word chicken or spoon.
So, for our listeners, if you are in that situation, what should you do? I think the first step is to accept the situation. Just say to yourself, it's okay, I am learning. It is normal to forget.
Yes, and it's okay to use your hands. Use gestures. If you forget the word for spoon, just pretend you're eating soup. The waiter will understand. Thinking clearly doesn't always mean finding the perfect word. It means finding a way to communicate despite the stress.
That's a great point. Despite the stress. Even though the stress is there, you still find a way. You don't let the stress stop you.
You know, Emma, I read a book about pilots. Pilots are people who fly airplanes, of course. They have a very high-pressure job. If something goes wrong in the air, they can't just pull over like you do in your car.
That sounds incredibly stressful. What do they do to stay calm?
They have a rule. It is 3 words: aviate, navigate, communicate.
Those are big words. Can you explain them simply?
Sure. Aviate just means fly the plane. It means do the most important thing first. Keep the plane in the air. Don't worry about the radio or the map yet. Just keep the plane flying.
Okay, so focus on the vital task. The vital means very, very important. The thing you must do to survive.
Exactly. Then navigate. That means find out where you are going. Once the plane is stable, look at your map. And finally, communicate. Talk to the people on the ground and tell them what is happening.
That is a great system for life, too. If you are overwhelmed at work, overwhelmed means you feel like you have too much to do and you can't handle it. You can use that rule.
How would you use it at work?
Well, let's see. Aviate would be, what is the one thing I must finish in the next 10 minutes? Maybe it is answering an important email. Just do that. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at your other tasks. Just fly the plane.
And navigate would be looking at your schedule for the rest of the day.
Yes. Once that one email is sent, you can look at your to-do list and decide what to do next. You find your direction.
And communicate is telling your boss or your team, hey, I am a bit busy, I might be late with this other project.
Exactly. Most of the pressure we feel comes from trying to do everything at the same time. We try to aviate, navigate, and communicate all in 1 second. No wonder our brains get tired.
It's true. We are not robots. We can't do 1,000 things at once. Even computers slow down when they have too many programs open. Our brains are the same. Thinking clearly is really just about closing the programs we don't need right now.
I love that image. Closing the programs in your brain. If I am worried about what I will cook for dinner while I'm trying to write a report for my boss, I should close the dinner program. It isn't helping me right now.
Right. You can reopen it later when you are at the supermarket.
You know, another thing that helps me think clearly is writing things down. When I have a lot of pressure, my head feels like a room full of loose papers flying around in the wind.
That's a very vivid image, very easy to see in the mind.
It feels very messy, but when I take a pen and a piece of paper, not a computer, but a real pen, and I write down the things I am worried about, it's like I'm picking up those papers and putting them in a folder.
Does that really work for you?
It does, because once it is on the paper, my brain doesn't have to hold it anymore. I can see it in front of me. Usually, when I see my problems on paper, they look much smaller than they felt when they were inside my head.
I agree. When things are just thoughts, they can grow and grow. They become like monsters. But when you write them down, you realize, oh, this is just a list of 5 small things. I can do this.
Exactly. It's about organizing the chaos. Chaos is a word for complete disorder or confusion. Pressure creates chaos. Writing creates order.
That is a great tip. And for our listeners, writing in English can also be a good way to practice. If you are feeling stressed about your English studies, write down 3 things you want to learn this week. Just 3. Don't try to learn the whole language in one day.
That's very good advice, Alex. Sometimes the pressure we feel is pressure we put on ourselves. We want to be perfect.
Oh, perfectionism. That is a big one. Perfectionism is when you feel like you must do everything 100% correctly with no mistakes.
Perfectionism is the enemy of clear thinking, especially for language learners. If you are so afraid of making a mistake, you will be too nervous to speak. And when you are nervous, you can't think of the words. It is a vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle. That's a cool expression. It means a problem that keeps getting worse because one bad thing causes another bad thing, which makes the first thing even worse.
Right. You are nervous, so you make a mistake. Because you made a mistake, you get more nervous. Because you are more nervous, you make another mistake. It just goes round and round.
So, to think clearly, you have to break the cycle. You have to say, I am going to make mistakes today, and that's okay. Once you accept that you aren't perfect, the pressure drops, and suddenly your brain has more room to remember your English.
It's funny how that works. When you stop caring so much about being perfect, you actually perform better.
It's so true. I remember when I was learning to play the guitar. I was so worried about hitting the wrong notes when I played for my friends. My fingers would get stiff, hard to move. I couldn't play at all.
Stiff fingers. That happens when we are tense.
Exactly. But one day, my friend told me, Alex, just play a wrong note on purpose. Right now. Just hit a bad one. So I did. It sounded terrible. We both laughed. And after that, I wasn't afraid anymore. My fingers relaxed and I played much better.
That is a great story. Facing your fear. You did the thing you were afraid of and you realized the world didn't end.
Right. And that applies to thinking clearly under pressure, too. If you are afraid of failing, the pressure is huge. If you realize that failing is just part of learning, the pressure gets much smaller.
I want to talk about physical things we can do too. We talked about breathing a little bit earlier, but there is a specific way to breathe that really helps the brain, right?
Yes, many people talk about box breathing. It's very simple. You can even do it while you are listening to us right now. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds, and then you wait for 4 seconds.
Let's try it together, just once. Ready? Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And wait, 2, 3, 4.
I already feel more relaxed.
Me too. It's like magic.
but it's actually science. It tells your nervous system that you are safe. When your body feels safe, your brain unlocks.
Unlocks. I like that. When we are under pressure, the brain is locked. It's in survival mode. It only wants to run away or fight. It doesn't want to solve math problems or speak a second language.
Exactly. Survival mode is great if a lion is chasing you, but a lion is not chasing you when you are at the office or at the bank. Your brain just thinks there is a lion because the pressure feels so heavy.
So by breathing slowly, you're telling your brain, hey, look around. There is no lion. We are just at a meeting. It's okay to unlock the logic centers.
This is so important for English learners when they are speaking to a native speaker. Many learners tell me that their mind goes blank. My mind went blank means I suddenly forgot everything I knew. I couldn't think of a single word.
That is the lock we are talking about. If that happens to you, just stop. Take that one box breath. It only takes a few seconds. The other person can wait. It's better to wait 4 seconds and then speak than to panic for a minute.
And you know, most people are very kind. If you say, wait a moment, I'm thinking, they will wait. You don't have to be a fast speaker to be a good speaker.
That is a very important point, Emma. Thinking clearly often means thinking slowly. We live in a world that is very fast. Everyone wants answers immediately, which means right now, without any delay.
But the best decisions are rarely made immediately. Even in high-pressure jobs like doctors or firefighters, they are trained to take a moment to assess the situation. To assess means to look at everything and understand what is happening before you act.
To assess. That's a good word. So instead of just reacting, like a ball bouncing off a wall, you take a second to assess. You ask yourself, what is actually happening here?
My mom always used to say, count to 10 before you speak when you are angry. It's the same idea. It's giving yourself a buffer.
A buffer? What do you mean by that?
A buffer is like a cushion. It's a little bit of space or time between two things. Between the pressure and your reaction, you need a buffer.
I like that, a time cushion. So if your boss sends you an email that makes you feel pressured or stressed, don't reply in 1 minute. Give yourself a 1-hour buffer. Walk around, have a glass of water, and then come back to the computer.
You will always write a better email after that hour. Your clear-thinking brain will be back in charge instead of your stressed brain.
We have talked about a lot of things. We talked about breathing, about writing things down, about breaking the vicious cycle of perfectionism, and about creating a buffer.
We also talked about the aviate, navigate, communicate rule. I think that one is my favorite. It's so easy to remember.
It really is. I actually used it this morning. I had a very busy morning. My cat knocked over a plant and there was dirt everywhere, my phone was ringing, and I was late for this recording.
Oh, wow, that is a lot of pressure for a Monday morning. How did you aviate?
Well, I realized the most important thing was to get to the studio on time, so I didn't keep you waiting. So aviate was just leaving the house. I ignored the phone, I quickly swept the dirt into a corner. I didn't clean it perfectly, I just moved it so it wasn't a danger, and I left.
And navigate?
While I was walking to the bus, I looked at my phone and saw who was calling. It was just a friend. I realized it wasn't an emergency, so I found my direction for the day.
And communicate?
I sent you a quick text message saying, I'm on my way, see you in 10 minutes.
And I remember getting that text. It was very clear. I didn't know you had a dirt emergency at home, but you sounded very calm.
See, it works. If I hadn't used that rule, I probably would have tried to clean the whole floor, answered the phone, and then I would have been 20 minutes late and very sweaty and stressed when I got here.
And then we wouldn't have had such a good conversation because you would have been thinking about the dirt on your floor.
Exactly. Thinking clearly is about choosing what not to think about. It's about saying not now to the things that aren't vital.
You know, Alex, I think we should also mention that practice makes this easier. You don't just wake up one day and become a person who is perfect under pressure.
Oh, definitely not. It's like a muscle. You have to exercise it. You have to put yourself in small, precious situations and practice staying calm.
Like what? What is a small pressure situation?
Well, maybe try to learn a very difficult song, or play a game where you have to move fast. Or even just practicing your English with a stranger. That is a lot of pressure for many people.
That's a great example. Each time you do it, you tell your brain, see, we survived. It was okay.
The next time, the pressure doesn't feel quite so heavy.
Exactly. You build up a tolerance. Tolerance is when you can handle more of something without it bothering you. Like how some people can eat very spicy food because they eat it every day. They have a spice tolerance.
I want pressure tolerance. I want to be like one of those people who stays cool as an ice cube, even when everything is going wrong.
Cool as a cucumber is the phrase I usually hear.
Oh, is it? Cool as a cucumber. Why a cucumber? They aren't especially cool, are they?
I'm not sure, actually. Maybe because they're cold when you take them out of the fridge? But it's a very common expression. He was cool as a cucumber during the interview. It means he was very, very calm.
I love that. I'm going to use that. Today, during my English lesson, I was cool as a cucumber.
That's the spirit. Even if you don't feel cool on the inside, sometimes acting calm can help you become calm.
Fake it until you make it. That's another good one. It means if you pretend to be confident, eventually you will start to feel confident for real.
Yes. If you stand up straight, take a deep breath, and speak slowly, your brain starts to believe that you are in control. It thinks, well, Alex is acting very calm, so I guess there is no danger. I will stop sending out stress signals.
It's a trick. We're tricking our own brains into thinking clearly.
Precisely. Our brains are very smart, but they're also a bit silly sometimes. They can't always tell the difference between a real lion and a difficult English grammar rule. We have to help them.
This has been such a helpful talk, Alex. I feel more relaxed just talking about these things. I hope our listeners feel that way too.
Me too. Remember, if you were listening to this and you feel like you didn't understand everything, that is okay. There is no pressure here. This is Pod Studio. This is a safe place to learn.
Exactly. You can listen to this episode again tomorrow, and maybe you will hear something new. Maybe you will understand a word today that you didn't understand yesterday. That is how progress works. It's slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race, like the story of the turtle and the rabbit.
Yes, the turtle didn't run fast, but he never stopped, and he didn't let the pressure of the race make him quit.
So let's wrap up, which means let's finish our conversation for today. Emma, what is one thing you want our listeners to remember from today?
I think the most important thing is the buffer. Just give yourself a little bit of time, whether you're speaking English or working or driving. Don't feel like you have to be fast. Fast thinking is often messy thinking. Clear thinking is usually a bit slower.
That is a great takeaway. A takeaway is an important idea or fact that you learn from a discussion. My takeaway is the aviate, navigate, communicate rule. When life feels like too much, just fly the plane first. Do the one most important thing.
I love that. And to all of you listening at Pod Studio, thank you so much for being with us. You are doing a great job just by being here and listening.
You really are. Learning a language is a long journey, and we are so happy to be a part of yours. Keep practicing, keep breathing, and remember to stay cool as a cucumber.
Yes, be the cucumber. We hope you have a wonderful, stress-free day.
And if it's stressful, now you have the tools to handle it. We will see you next time here at Pod Studio.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.